Have you ever noticed how we talk about time? We say, how time flies, or I'm running out of time. It's like this thing is racing away from us. We've been taught that time moves in a straight line, that we should always be climbing, that we should always be growing, that we should always be on. But that's not how time actually works. And it's definitely not how you work. I used to think that time was just about being more efficient. Better schedules, smarter systems, getting more done. But the more I paid attention, the more I realized time isn't about the race to the finish line. It's a dance. And when you learn the steps, everything changes. Here's what I've learned. Time isn't linear. Time is cyclical. Look around you. The sun, it rises and it sets. The seasons, it changes and it comes back. Your heartbeat, your breath, it's all rhythmic. But somehow we think that we should be different, that we should be in a permanent state of spring, always producing, always going, and never resting. That's like expecting a tree to bloom 365 days in a year. It's not natural, it's not sustainable, and it's definitely not necessary. I noticed this several years ago when I was completely out of sync within my own life. Pushing through when I needed to rest, forcing growth when I needed to reevaluate. So, one fall day, I found myself mesmerized by this beautiful, fire red maple tree shedding its leaves with no struggle, no resistance, just pure flow. The tree wasn't broken. It knew exactly what season it was in, and it trusted the cycle. That's when it hit me. Time isn't linear. Time is cyclical. So let me share with you what I've learned about our natural rhythms. There are 5 phases within a cycle. Phase 1 is a time to reflect. This is when you're brainstorming, you're reading, you're developing new ideas, you're letting your mind wander to get ready for what's to come. Phase 2, a time to plan and a time to grow. This is when you're executing those ideas. You're doing the work and putting in those long, focused hours. Phase 3, a time to expand. This is when you're launching, you're networking with people, and you're taking on projects, and you're bringing everything to new heights. Phase 4 is a time to harvest. This is when you're celebrating all your wins, you're sharing your work with the world, and you're reaping all those benefits that you've sown. Phase 5, a time to release. This phase is when you're decluttering. You're ending relationships that don't serve you, and you're pivoting from projects that aren't simply working out. And then what happens? We cycle back. We cycle back to phase 1, a time to reflect, a time to rest, and a time to develop new ideas. The magic happens when you honor which phase you're in, instead of forcing yourself to be somewhere else. Look, I get it. I hear you. Right now, through the screen, you're probably thinking, this sounds nice and all, but I've got deadlines. I've got responsibilities. I can't just flow with the seasons when my boss is breathing down my neck. I hear you. But here's the thing. This isn't about dropping everything and giving up on your dreams. This is about working smarter by working with your natural energy instead of against it. Maybe that afternoon slump that you're experiencing isn't laziness. It's probably your cue to shift to an easier task. Or maybe that burst of energy that you get towards the end of the night isn't really bad timing. It's actually your prime time. Because when you start honoring your timing, something incredible happens. You stop feeling like you're constantly playing catch up with life. You start feeling like you're finally in your life. And that's not just better time management. That's freedom. Welcome to your rhythm, and welcome to your time.